We welcome you to our annual general meeting. My name is Thomas Under Edgar. I am the chair of the Yawuru PBC. Today we can share the work we have done over the last 12 months. Galamabu for support in from all the Yawuru boards. Thank you very much.
I know it's Zulu.
Just break it into nya. No. Put a line through there, nya. Oh yeah, nya.
Jalin, Yangara Nyam, Gurir, Annual General Nganga Gaja, Yangara Maljan, Nyanga Jono, Board Gabu. We welcome you to our AGM. You have the support of all our boards.
My name is Maxine Charlie. I sit on the Muramala Yawuru board, and it means I'm bringing the two boards together. We sit in the middle between the PBC and the NBY board.
Very challenging year for us. There's been a lot of firsts given this global pandemic, which has obviously impacted our business a great deal. But out of that, it's good to know that our community is safe, and we've also had some good work done by our team here on the ground. And I know NBY has been doing stuff for our elders and sending out care packs and everything like that in the mix of all the COVID.
So right through COVID-19, we did a lot of elders packs, and we pretty much got out about 150 to 200 packs within the COVID-19. Anything culturally, I have to get involved with, so that's our elders and we have to look after them. That's our Leon.
By now you'll know that I have left the organisation as your CEO and providing my final report to you as the CEO to the AGM. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank the boards, NBY, the PBC boards, NBY and Muramala boards, and the members generally for your support during my time here in the last 4 years. You'll also be aware now, of course, that Susan Ferguson has come in as the new CEO as of the 1st of July, together with Cara Peake as the Deputy CEO. The organisations and in all its functions and responsibilities has come, in my view, quite a long way in the last 4 years. We have obviously faced some significant challenges, and there's a fair bit of corrugation yet to drive over to get the successes that we want. But I believe we've achieved some great successes with a number of key projects that have come into the organisations of late. I believe that we've made a significant contribution in regards to building the structures and the foundations around improving our resilience in terms of our language, our cultural knowledge, our Nulu and other cultural activities. And Yawuru is now seen as one of the leading organisations in the country. We've also been facing very serious challenges years with the coronavirus, COVID-19. We've had to close the office for a couple of months this year, but hopefully it's provided us with the opportunity to reflect on our own personal situation, on our families and on our communities, and to look at resetting the dial in terms of our relationships, but also being able to understand more clearly about what we need to do in the future in terms of continuing the success and building for the better future for our children and our grandchildren. So I wish you well on the AGM, and I look forward to connecting you on my return.
Naji Gurajan. My name's Susan Burgesson and I'm the Chief Executive Officer of NBY. I was appointed to that role in July this year after being with the organisation since 2016. The vision of NBY is really all centred around culture, community and tradition, And MBY has a really broad remit in relation to those broader responsibilities. Obviously, the protection of a native title interest is paramount. Without that and the connection to country and all that entails around our family and community is absolutely critical to be preserved and to be built upon. And in particular, our focus around ongoing sustainability of the corporation and how we will achieve that. Obviously, that's a focus that we've got to lift, but that's not to the detriment of our delivery and responsibilities to the community.
I think having 2 women in the role just brings a completely different mindset, a collaborative way of working, and also brings, just by the sheer diversity of that, of having a Yawuru and non-Indigenous person in the leadership, will enable unique conversations, unique strategies, and will not diminish the commercial returns, but will deliver it in a different way. So Susan and I work relatively closely together depending on the project or the issue. Obviously, the executive leadership team need to work cohesively to manage the full strategy that the boards have put forward. And then it's my job to work out largely how that's going to happen in-house.
Our point of difference really at CDU is that all that we do is runs through the lens of culture and underpinned by the framework of Mabu Lian and the indicators that the community said are those things that mean a life of well-being to them. And that's what we really try and focus on as our point of difference through all of our service provision to the community. I guess the programs that I manage, really I guess the idea is that they work across the spectrum of a Yawuru member's life, and obviously we're here to serve the wider Broome community as well. Right from HIPPY, our early childhood programs, then through to our youth training and employment programs that sort of are really looking at that 15 to sort of 25 demographic. We have a transition to work program, the only one in Australia that is delivered through an Indigenous organisation. And we also have a social investment funded program called Wadmajala Mugalai, which means to rise up. Then of course we have a very important program around our elders and disability, which is really bringing those deliverables to our members.
So the HIPPY program stands for Home Interaction Program for Parents and Youngsters. It's a program for children who are turning 4 to the age of 5. So it's a 2-year program, it's free, we provide everything, and what we do is we train tutors every week and every fortnight to deliver packs to our families.
The program that I work with is Transition to Work. So we are funded by the government and we're open to everyone. So predominantly our referrals come through from Centrelink, but we have the capacity to take on direct registrations.
So I look after the Shell Social Investment Program, which is Wadmajala Mugalai, and its outcomes is to support Indigenous young people into training and sustainable employment. Yeah, so the hospitality program was really designed to support Mabu Mai Cafe with gaining more local Indigenous young people in there to be working functions and gaining skills. And yeah, so we built the program around their needs with introducing, in partnership with North Regional TAFE to be able to deliver the skill sets in barista, RSA, food handling, safety and things like that.
Mabu Mai was operational from last year, but obviously and was gaining quite a bit of traction this year, and then unfortunately, like most businesses, we had to close for COVID. We've built up a great rapport, particularly with the government agencies for our function centre, but the cafe itself has become a really nice hub for people to come and have a coffee.
I started doing hospitality courses and barista course because this was here. Yeah, they just thought I was a really good fit. I just went for it. I feel so comfortable working here.
Mabu Ngaya Nilawal Diane Appleby. My name is Diane Appleby. I'm the cultural coordinator for Nyambabura Yawuru. Well, it's a united front. We have to work together. And if we step forward in increasing our participation as we move forward in actually increasing our cultural values and our philosophy of Mabulian, we must work together. The collaboration in our language is called Yagar Mabulanji, and this is really all part of us coming together.
I work in the language unit. We provide anything involving Yawuru language, so we address a lot of language requests. We also address language requests from our own people, especially people who live off country and want to stay connected to the language. We also provide assistance with Welcome to Country. We also are the support hub for inspiring Yawuru language teachers.
Mangara means always or forever, and it's the special projects that focuses on all the research and curatorial and protects and preserves and enhances the living cultural heritage for Yawuru people. Lustre shares that kind of intertwining shared history of the pearling industry as well. It's been travelling around Australia for about 5 years now, and it was at the last travelling destination in Geraldton, launched in Feb 2020, which we attended, and it's about to come back home to Yawuru country. So we're getting ready for that for 2021, of where we will permanently house it.
We have run our own Shinju Matsuri event for the first year this year. That was a sellout event for 50 people. We joined with quite a few of the cultural team and had a smoking ceremony. Then we ran a tour of the wonderful artwork and installations. And then we had some of our elders come here and tell stories, whilst the cafe facilitated a 5-course meal.
So I was involved with the WA Museum as well, involving all the Yawuru bones coming back from Germany, I think it was. We're having a repatriation in the next 2 years.
So we're building up a program to look at holistically the management of Yawuru country from an environmental, cultural perspective, but also to look at sustainable ways of doing business.
Ngaji Gorijan, Ngayu Ngilawal Dean Matthews, Senior Project Officer within the Environmental Service Unit, Nyambulburu Yawuru. I suppose the overall objective of Nyambulburu Yawuru being the business development arm for the Yawuru Prescribed Body Corporate under the Yawuru Native Title deal was create, I suppose, good lian. But obviously lian comes from, I suppose, the context of Mabu Ngarangul, people, and Mabu Buru, which is healthy country. If you go back to the Yawuru Cultural Management Plan, it's people connected to a geographical location. So you put that back in the context of Yawuru people and what Yawuru country has provided for. Yawuru country has provided for the resilience of Yawuru people for thousands of years.
The wetland monitoring is a program that we've been working on for the last year or so to help us monitor the wetlands on Roebuck Plains for impacts, whether it's cattle impacts or other outside threats to the wetland system. Earlier this year, I went down to ANU and did a Geographic Information System intensive course, basically studying mapping programs and the methodology of how to use that for our own purposes.
We've got significant sites out there on Roebuck Plains Station, and they've given us the okay to fence off these on the IPA areas, so we've gone and fenced them off, and to see how the country comes back a bit. Well, most of the significant sites are around the wetlands.
So we're bringing the Mabu Buru to create the Mabu Lian.
It's obviously the turtle monitoring program is to try and identify the unique, I suppose, value of turtles in Roebuck Bay, trying to understand the nature of what turtles do in regards to foraging patterns within Roebuck Bay, but also what Roebuck Bay plays in the context of life cycles of turtles. But it's just trying to understand and work through with marine scientists around the nature of the distribution and migratory patterns of green turtles in northwest Australia.
Environs Kimberley is working together with the Yawuru Women's Country Manager team and other rangers to help protect and restore vine thickets in Broome. This project will ensure the monsoonal vine thickets remain healthy for future generations to enjoy.
We've got to deliver to our community across cultural activities, across language, connection to country, certainly supporting our elders and youth and our families. And of course, in addition to that, there are many other corporate aspects to what we do. That's more centred around our economic development or our investment and equity strategies, and of course just the general operations of our organisations. The future sustainability of the organisation and its prosperity, so that we can continue to deliver quality programs to our community and to grow and interface to a greater extent, is very much based around our ability to generate income. And obviously we have a number of investments and land holdings that do generate income for us. Our Roebuck Plains Station generates rental returns. We have some industrial leases. We have the Mangata apartment block and other properties that generate returns. And all of this is very positive in terms of bringing through those revenues each year. In addition to that, we have significant amount of funds, around about 9 million at the moment, invested through an investment portfolio. And unfortunately this has been impacted by COVID-19 this year, so our returns have not been strong. But what I can say is, on a positive note, is that we've been less affected than a lot of organisations in Australia and around the world because of the nature of our conservative strategy on those investments. And that's put us in good stead. So we're certainly anticipating, as we come out of COVID, hopefully sometime next year, that as markets start to improve, we'll see some improvement again to our earning capacity from those investments. But in addition to that, we've been working for the last 3 or so years on some significant projects. And they have been projects that will potentially bring us some capital back into the organisation, and that's really important. And one of those is the negotiations we've had to deliver a new home ownership program, so a transitional program. This is built upon or comes from the success we've had with the YOP program, so a Yawuru home ownership program that was launched back in about 2014. So this will see 25 properties made available to families, so Yawuru and other Aboriginal people in Broome, to transition into home ownership. And we know that there's significant value for future generations and for the children in this strategy. In addition to that, we've been negotiating with the state on the health and wellbeing campus in Clementson Street. And as a result of our work there and our advocacy with the state on that project, the state has made a commitment of close to $8 million for headworks to that development. And this is a really significant investment for us to help us to deliver that opportunity. And this campus, health and wellbeing campus, will hopefully enable us to apply the Mabalian principles of health and wellbeing across the campus. The Shire of Broome has also been reviewing its town planning scheme and its economic development scheme, and we contributed significantly to the Broome Growth Plan. And it's important that we do advocate for Yawuru in these documents and positions, because we want to make sure that the consideration for our community and the broader Indigenous community of Broome are at the forefront of any of these future plans and activities of the town.
Moving into the next phase of the Yawuru corporate group, making sure that we can maximise commercial returns but continue to develop for the community and deliver for the community, we've identified a shift that needs to occur, and that is raising up the next generation of leadership, which are predominantly Yawuru people in the organisation, having them supported by the technical experts and management, and then also obviously by the executive, so that we as senior leaders in the organisation can support the next generation to develop and design the next phase, as well as deliver on it for the communities.
And I have the deepest respect for the culture and traditions and community of Yawuru, and one of my objectives is to immerse myself more deeply into my understanding of that so that I can be as effective as possible in the coming years. I'm really passionate about seeing that we can continue to deliver and improve on that, and no doubt we have our challenges. We don't always get everything right, but everyone's intent is good, and we look to achieve the objectives as set by the board over the next few years.
Yagara Gilbaranolo Ngayu Juyu Australian Yagarjan. We are one, but we are many, and from all the lands on earth we come. We share a dream and sing with one voice. I am, you are, we are Australian.